Today's video is going to be a bit of opinion piece as opposed to information. So if listening to someone's opinion, mine in this case, is not your bag, then I suggest you move on. My name is William Hutchison. I'm the owner of the two real estate companies that you see in the thumbnail. Enjoying a Colombian coffee again, nectar of the gods. Speaking of the thumbnail, I came across an article today. I'm going to attach the link. I've mentioned often that Colombia has the most bird species in the world at 1900. And the butterfly on the cat's nose in the photo is significant because I came across an article that says Colombia has over 3,500 butterfly species. Amazing, absolutely amazing. And once again, for a country, the most in the world. Today, I want to offer my opinion to those that are looking to buy, but specifically those that are looking to buy very rural. And I think there's two things that you have to consider. You may have considered them, but I want to throw the concepts out to you again. The first one is those of you that want to go what I call rural. That would be maybe a small finca. You want a couple of horses, a cow, a handful of chickens, a pond with a few ducks. You're out in the sticks, quite a distance from anything. And I'm not sure that it's anything that you want to get involved in. I know I wouldn't. And there's two reasons for it. The first is, and this has been driven home to me over the last couple of months, is if you have a serious health issue. I have fincas listed. Many of them are distant from the main road. And I can just imagine a phone call to medical care, an ambulance, going something like this. And don't forget, the person making the phone call is probably a hysterical Colombian wife. You've had a medical issue. Maybe it's a heart attack, a stroke. You've fallen and hit your head. There's blood everywhere. You've broken your hip. And by the way, many doctors now are saying that you don't fall and break your hip. You break your hip and then you fall. And if a hip is that weak, then I think people of our age need to rethink the possibility of it happening to them. Anyway, the telephone conversation goes something like, we're 5 kilometers off the main road. You drive in 1.5 kilometers, and on the right, you'll see a big tree. There's an old faded white sign in front of it. You turn right there. You come down another kilometer. Be careful at about 0.5 kilometer because with the recent rains, there's a huge rut that runs across the road. You may hit bottom with your ambulance. It's probably 1.5 meters wide and 20 centimeters deep. So be careful there. You'll come up another 0.5 kilometer. There's a fork in the road. Take the left fork. So anyway, you get the picture. On these finca roads, if you haven't experienced them, there's no landmark. You can't say, well, if you come to the police station, you'll see it on the left. We're the third house past the police station. It's painted a light beige. There's a white pickup truck in the driveway. My point is, you have to limit yourself when you buy in distance from proper medical care. My thought is 30 minutes, absolute maximum. 15 or 20 minutes is better, because the distance that you are from expert medical care is probably going to need to be tripled. By the time the ambulance gets to you, if they can find you quickly, if the directions are good, they have to stabilize you and then get back to the hospital. So let's say you're 20 minutes away from good care. And by good care in Colombia, I don't know where the line is. I know the care I got. Colombia is the 22nd largest city in, or Armenia is the 22nd largest city in Colombia, 325,000 or so. There's 65 cities over 100,000. Now, I don't know that 100,000 is going to give you the care. I have no idea. I think looking at 200,000 and over would be better. But that's something that you would have to decide for yourself. So 20 minutes for the ambulance to get to you, 15, 20 minutes to stabilize you, get you into the ambulance, 20 minutes back. Living 20 minutes from medical care, you're an hour in the case of an emergency. If you're patient and you look and you have some help doing that, and you're prepared to maybe get rid of the horses and the cow and have some chickens and maybe a nice garden, if that's enough for you, there's lots of places within 15 or 20 minutes of healthcare. You don't need to be going to little towns out in the boonies. There's channels here promoting those sorts of places based basically on prices. Colombia is already inexpensive enough. And if you're 2 or 3 hours from expert care, you've got a problem. I mean, it would be very easy to die while you were on your way to the hospital when it's 3 hours away. That covers off the health, and it's been driven home to me, as I say, in the last couple of months. I'm minutes from the hospital, and I was very well taken care of. But it does open a topic that I think should be considered if you are a buyer. The second one, and I'm just going to throw it out to you, and I'm sure most of you have perhaps bought this way, or at least thought this way. When you buy, you have to have in mind what you're going to have in your hands the day you sell, or the day you want to sell. Sales in Colombia are very slow. A lot of them, they're slow because they're based on price. They're overpriced 25, 30, 40% in some cases. I've seen places listed here for 5 or 6 years. But if you live out in the boonies in a town of 40 or 50,000, maybe you've made some improvements to the property, you've got a decent amount invested, who's going to buy it? Not many expats are going to be interested, the people that would have the money, and not many Colombians have the money. So those two things in my mind, I'm very firm on the two concepts. Buy close to healthcare because you can have the tranquil life that you want. You may not have the animals, but you can have the tranquil life that you want. You can be close to medical care, and you can have a property that's saleable when that day comes for you or yours. That's it for today. William Hutchison signing off. Armenia Columbia Realty for Expats and Salento Columbia Realty. If you find a channel of interest, please subscribe. You can click on that round photo of me up in the corner, and that will get you on the wheel. I'm trying to get the information out to as many people as possible, and the Yahoo algorithm is driven by likes and subscriptions. Have a great day. I will, because I live in paradise.